Hi, my name's Nikki. I'm the Obsessive Bookseller, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Curse of Chalion by Lois McMaster Bujold. It's book number 1 in World of the Five Gods. We picked this one for my book club. This will actually be a DNF review. I decided to start posting these because when I'm trying to figure out if I want to read a book or not, oftentimes it's the lower star reviews that help me make a decision more than the high star reviews. Several years ago, I came across a really nifty Q&A for DNF titles from Nikki over at There Were Books Involved, and I asked her if I could use them, and she said absolutely. The first question is, did you really give Curse of Chalion a chance? And I'd say I gave it a reasonable go. I think I made it to about the 35% mark before putting it down. It was pretty clear from the get-go that it wasn't working for me. Have you enjoyed other books in the same genre? Absolutely. Those slow burn political novels are some of my all-time favorites. Next, did you have certain expectations before starting it? I would say I had pretty moderate expectations. I have read Beguilement, the first book in the Sharing Knife series by the same author, and from what I remember, that one was rather romance heavy, but the writing was really easygoing and flowing and relaxing. Overall, it was an enjoyable read. What ultimately made you stop reading? There were a couple of things. For a book that's supposed to be so character-centric and reliant on the politics, everything was incredibly simplistic. The characters didn't have any depth whatsoever. They were presented with a certain profile and they really didn't dig any deeper than that. So I lacked that essential connection to the characters. And the politics at first seemed like they would be really interesting, but it was just way too simple. I have read a ton of fantasy novels that take place in a court setting with, hierarchies and rulers, and this has got to be the most basic one I've ever read, aside from things in young adult novels. I just needed something a little more robust, especially since the book didn't really have a lot else going on. If it had great world building going on at the same time, I might have been a little more forgiving. But if that's the focus, it's got to be done well. And the thing that ultimately made me set down the book was the characters started making erratic decisions that did not make sense to me. And I hate it when characters go off the rails for the sake of plot advancement and not because it actually makes sense to do what they're doing. Is there anything you liked about Curse of Chalion? Not a lot. The writing was pretty flowing. That's a through line from all of her works. I liked that pretty well, but yeah, just nothing to latch onto. The beginning chapter was pretty good. I think she did a really good job setting things up. I liked the initial character constructs, and I wish more had been done with them. Perhaps that's something that develops as the series goes on, and I just missed out on it because I stopped reading too early, but meh. So you DNF'd the book. Would you still recommend it? That's an interesting question because yes, I think I would recommend it. Right now, I'm craving a lot of books with the dynamics and a lot of complexity, and this was a really simple, basic fantasy read. And I remember back in the day when that's exactly what the doctor ordered. And so if you're interested in a fantasy book that's really easygoing, has a higher romance content than most fantasy novels, then this one might fit the bill. This author is perfect as a crossover novel if you love romance but want to get into more fantasy stuff. So yes, to the right person, I would recommend this. I'm really bummed I didn't like it more than I did, but at least I didn't spend the entire book just resenting the fact that I read it. I'm now at the point where I can call DNFs with a lot more confidence. DNF, no rating, and yeah, hopefully the next book I pick up is better. Thank you so much for joining me on today's review, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye!